Ladies and gentlemen, we have a half an hour to blast through something that is awesome. And I think what people sensed about this last session with Rabbi Marcus was that you finally have definitions to work with. Okay, implement them. But once you have the definition of what something is, then you can implement it. And I love this class, because this class is literally, you're going to end up with a toolbox of basic definitions, of concepts that if you're in the Jewish world, they'll be thrown around all the time, and you may or may not understand what's happening. And by the way, I will give you a little FYI. When we finish this class in a half an hour, you will know when you guys come for Shabbos, and you'll be walking down the street of Tui Avenue, okay? And you'll be saying, hey, I'm a Rabbi Garfinkel and Rabbi Marcus student, young professional from downtown Chicago, and if someone asks you, hey, Jamie or Jeremy, what is the definition of a mitzvah? You'll be there, bam, I got it in my pocket, I know exactly what's going on, and it is a very empowering thing to know definitions of things. Okay, so without any further ado, here we go. Project 615 presents definitions. Okay, so here we go. Ba-ba-da-dum. Okay, here we go. Let's see what a definition is. It's very important to know what a definition is. A lot of times people have it that they describe different things about it, but really when you know what a definition is, this is the fundamental essence of what it does. Okay, a car, ready, is a vehicle with four wheels that transports items from one place to another. That's what it does. It's not a helicopter. It doesn't have a blade. Okay, so I won't mention helicopters now. Okay, but right, this is what it does. That is a car. Okay, a cup is a vessel that holds liquid. That's what it does. That's what it's for. And of course, I had to put on here, what is a rabbi? A spiritual person who nudges you to do Jewish stuff, right? Because that's fundamentally what we're doing. We're basically like a Jewish mom saying, you got to come for Shabbos, you got to learn Torah. Okay, there are a few other things that rabbis do. Okay, so now, here we go. What is Judaism? You got it? What is Judaism? Let's see what it does. Okay, so we're going to brainstorm a little bit before we do the big reveal. Okay, I need everyone's help. We'll brainstorm. No right or wrong answer to this part. Judaism is?
Studying Torah.
Okay, it's studying Torah. After last class, that's a very good guess. I like that. Okay, studying Torah, what else?
Giving ourselves to God.
Okay, right, giving yourself to God. Serving, love these. You guys sound so religious. Okay, it's beautiful. As we would say, you sound very frum, which is a Yiddish word for religious. Serving God. Okay, what else? Mitzvos. Judaism is all about mitzvahs. We're going to see where this fits in. Good. If you went, yeah.
I'd say it's a way of life.
Okay, it's a way of life. Okay, you guys are very holy people. I'm serious. I'm just saying that. These are not the regular answers I get. Okay, Shabbat, that's a subsidiary, okay, Shabbos of a mitzvah. What is Judaism? Rabbi, Judaism is a culture. It's really just it's just unique, but it's a culture. Okay, I have to get that all the time. What else do I get? Judaism is a people, a nation. Okay, and I think what you guys were saying with all this stuff, this marker is not as excited as I am. Its feminine issues of expression this must be a male marker, because it is not expressing in the way that I needed to express. I'm drawing. Okay, I know. Okay, right? Okay, this is basically, Judaism religion. That's basically what we're saying, right? Study Torah, do all that good stuff. Okay, right? Good? We got it? All right, here we go. So Judaism is not a religion. It's not a culture, not a history, not a people, not a land. It's not any of those. It has all of them, but it's not it. This is like saying, oh, the car's got a windshield, it's got an engine, it's got wheels, it's got leather interior, it's got, what do they call Sirius satellite? Sirius?
Seriously.
There you go, okay. dude, you gotta be serious about the serious, okay? So now what we're going to do is totally redefine, tool your definition of Judaism, and from going forward, you'll basically be able to understand pretty much everything about Judaism from this definition. You ready? Drum roll. I feel like we need a drum roll over here. Dun da 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 da. Okay, here's the long definition, and then we get the Cliff Note version. Full definition. Judaism is a system of divinely ordained system of laws, beliefs, practices. People are already falling asleep. Okay, here we go. Perfectly designed to create a deep personal, communal, and national relationship with Hashem. P.S. By the way, when I say Hashem, that means Ha is the, Shem is name. Hashem, the name, which is God. Now, here we go. Bottom line. Judaism is a system to create a relationship with God. That's it. That's the card. That's what Judaism does. That's what it does. When I practice Judaism, it is the vehicle, it is the system that helps me connect to God. Period. That's it. Done. There's going to be a lot of bells and whistles. We're going to explain a lot of things. But fundamentally, a cup holds liquid. A chair seats a person. Judaism is not a religion. It's a relationship. Okay? And what we're going to see is the same back and flow of a relationship. In the human realm, there's a lot of overlap in terms of the relationship with us and the Almighty. Okay? Ready? Okay, let's continue the journey over here. Dun da da da. Oh, this is my favorite slide. This is fun. Okay? Relationships. All right, we're hearing a lot about relationships tonight. You guys got, okay. But this is the more gushy side, okay? This is not deep Kabbalistic. This is just more gushy. Here we go. So what's the key to a good relationship? We're going to talk about flowers and chocolate. Okay. Flowers and chocolate. Flowers and chocolate. Okay. So it goes like this. Imagine, okay, a young couple. I need two names. No one in the room. It's names. Guy and a girl.
John and Jane.
John and Jane. Do you know what I like to use? Josh and Rachel. Do you know how many Jewish Josh and Rachel? Let's use Josh and Rachel. Okay, so Josh and Rachel. We got Josh and Rachel. Josh, such a good guy, and he, they've been dating for a little bit. Their first anniversary. Well, actually, after last class, let's say they're married. Okay, first anniversary. Okay, what happens? Josh sees an unbelievable deal for flowers. Okay, you're talking about birds of paradise, the whole thing, all like it looks like, a Dr. Seuss book, the pom-poms, the whole thing, unbelievable. This thing's like $500 value, but he has a special online voucher, okay, or whatever, Groupon. The thing is $59.99. He is all about it. Presses go. Amazon primes it, brings it to his anniversary. Here we go. Sweetie, here you go. I got the birds of paradise, the pom-pom, the whole thing. Here you go, right here. And she says, I love it. And she starts to this, she gets hives, she's breaking out, and she is totally allergic to bird of paradise. I mean, that flower is literally like toxic to her, and she gets the hive, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so he says to her, I'm so sorry. What do you like? So I like chocolate. So he goes out and gets her bottle. He gets a box of chocolate. Okay, innocent mistake. Second anniversary. All of the sudden, online, it comes as a little bleep, little message, right? Little in the top right of your screen. Special deal on flowers. Okay, but this time it's like $1,000 bouquet. It's like an entire Amazon rainforest, okay? And he is gonna get it for $39.99. And it's unbelievable. Like, it's literally an entire Amazon rainforest and the whole thing, and it's so beautiful. It's literally, you could literally climb in this bouquet. It's so beautiful. And he can't control himself. So you know what? This is such an impressive present. I'm going to buy it. He does. Now, what's the wife's reaction? It is beautiful. Okay, grateful. But what's the issue? She's allergic to it. So what's she thinking?
Sweetie, are you an idiot?
Yeah, what's going on here? So what's the problem with this guy? What mistake did our valiant male make? Again, I don't want this to be male bashing. I'm a male. I like men. Okay? We can win and bash later. Okay. Okay, but I don't want the night to be, but I'm just using this as an example. What's the problem with the guy? What did he do wrong?
He forgot she's allergic.
Right. Which means what? Which means what?
He was not considering.
Right. What was
With his eyes, not his heart.
Okay. What was he giving? He was giving what he wanted to give, but he didn't give what she needed to receive. Okay? Okay? One of the biggest, and by the way, this goes both ways. Both ways. In a loving relationship, who determines what I give to the other person?
The other person.
The other person, not you. Best wedding gift we got. I mocked and ridiculed for the first few months of our marriage. Best wedding gift we got, aside from the cash, that was good. Okay. Was a toolbox. A toolbox. And I see this thing coming. Like, I grew up in a house that if anything broke in the house, my dad just called someone else because we were, Jewish. Okay, whatever. Something's broke. We should call someone else. Okay, that was not our forte over there. Making reservations and calling other people to do that stuff who knew what we were doing was our style. Okay, so I get this toolbox. And I'm like, this ridiculous family, what are they doing? What are they thinking? Why do I need a toolbox? In other words, and I was like, I still remember their name, the Epstein family. I never met them. It's like one on my wife's side. Like, I don't know where they are. But they're genius. Why were the Epstein family genius to give us this toolbox? Because we were going to Israel to live in a tiny little rinky-dink apartment. And we had zero money, and we couldn't call anyone. And guess what? Things break, and they break a lot. So even though I didn't know how to fix it, you can't call someone $150, 500 shekels an hour. You can't do that. You got to figure it out. We used that toolbox so many times until years later, 6 years married in Israel, and we went to UCLA campus. We lived literally on campus, and it was stolen from our balcony somewhere in the middle of our 3 years. So 7.5 years, we used that toolbox. The Epsteins understood. They knew what we needed more than I did. That was love. It wasn't a fancy gift. It wasn't attractive. It wasn't flashy. But you know what? That was real love. Because they gave me and us what we needed. Okay? And that's really definition of love. Okay, ice cream cone, right? This comes out, right? What we all say it. I love double chocolate chip ice cream, or fill in the blank, right? I love it. I love it. It's amazing. Actually, we actually had some butter pecan ice cream this past Shabbos. That was really unbelievable. With not one drop of milk in it, I will tell you. Anyway, it was unbelievable. We're like, we love this ice cream. Now, do we really love the ice cream? If we love the ice cream, we would actually leave it in the freezer and just look at it, okay? It's more easy, this is easier to understand with chicken, right? I love chicken. I love chicken any way you make it. I love it. Now, the question is, do we really love chicken? If we love chicken, we would be outside there protesting, don't kill chickens, right? You don't love chicken, you love yourself. You love how chicken makes you feel. Now, by the way, there's nothing wrong with ice cream or chickens. Together it's a problem. Jewish. Okay, but anyway, but there's nothing. But the point is, when we often say we love something, it's a code word for it makes me feel good. Okay. Now, by the way, when you're with someone, that should make you feel good. Okay, we're not being with someone doesn't make you feel good. But the definition of love in our culture is not what I give to another person. It's how I feel. It's chicken love. And here's the problem with that. As soon as someone else can make me feel better or taste better or whatever, then that's, by the way, we even say this in our culture, the flavor of the month. Which one's better? Okay? So we see the true love and the secret in Judaism. And this is Judaism 101. There is a Hebrew word over here for love called ahava. Okay? It is not just cosmetics from the Dead Sea, okay? Rabbi Marcus, I don't know if there's 3 of them there, or patach, whatever. But ahava means love, and guess what? This means giving. The root of love is not taking, but rather giving. Now, by the way, if you only have that one way, that is called an abusive relationship because only one side's giving. Both sides need to be focused on giving. That's when the love will be built. Okay? So that's relationship 101, and that's the secret. And this is why, unfortunately, the misuse of the word love is a big reason why relationships sputter out after not a long time. Because why? Because everyone's using love as what makes me feel good and not how I can build love with others. Okay, here we go. So now, here we go. What is the Torah? Okay, bad joke, something related to the Hora. I added this time. You know what the Hora is? It's a popular Jewish dance at Jewish weddings before they play Beyonce. Okay, so what is the Torah? Oh my gosh, that's way too much text. Here we go, we're just going to skip down right here. You know what the Torah is? The instructions, Hashem's instructions for what he wants from the Jewish people. This is Hashem's terms of our relationship with him. So when Hashem says, pick any mitzvah. Don't eat shrimp. Oy. Okay, I won't say it. Don't eat lobster. Now you're talking. Okay, right? Don't eat lobster. Okay? If we understand that or not, the point is Hashem saying, I'm allergic to you eating lobster. Now, why that is in this, okay, a totally different class, but I just want to give you the concept. When we eat lobster, that's like us bringing birds of paradise to our spouse who's allergic to birds of paradise, okay? In other words, the Shem is telling us when he sets out these quote-unquote rules, he's saying, I want a loving relationship with you. He says, this is what I need in the relationship, okay? All right, we're doing this quickly, but did that make sense? Do we make the connection from the human relationship to the divine relationship? When we talk about Hashem wanting, giving us the Torah, this book of instructions, what he's saying is, I want a relationship with you. I want a loving relationship with you. And you know, the guidelines of that relationship, what I want, these are what we call the Mitzvah, the commandments. Okay, stick with me for a second. We're going to go to the next one. Here we go. Now, here we go. What is a mitzvah? What is a mitzvah? Of course, what your grandmother said. A mitzvah is a good deed. My grandmother of blessed memory grew up in our home. She was like a second mom to me. She was amazing. Everything was, such a mitzvah. We're friends, right? Anyway, she'd say, I have an itch. I'd scratch her back. She'd say, what a mitzvah. What a mitzvah. I'd take out the garbage occasionally. Whenever I did, what a mitzvah. This was not a religious woman at all, but in her heart she was incredible. But everything is just a good deed, okay? Let me ask you a question. Can I tell you a crazy mitzvah? I don't know if any of you knew this, because you all are farmers, right? Plowing. Julie, you were just plowing today. I know you were in the western suburbs plowing your field. I know you were. Do you know that the Torah says that when you plow, okay, Ernst & Young, they have a plowing division, right? Don't they? For sure?
Definitely.
Don't you guys do that in accounting? Okay, right? So when you plow your field, now Julie, remember this tomorrow when you're out there, you cannot plow the field with animals of two different sizes. Oh, okay, that's great. That's a good deed. I have no idea. Torah says you don't do it. Okay, there are reasons. Okay, I'll give you another one. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, that your fancy clothes, guys, sorry to tell you this, but your $5,000 Hugo Boss suits, okay, right in the collar is this unbelievable soft padding that's made of wool and linen. It's forbidden from the Torah. So guess what? Dun, da, da, da. You too can get your suit checked for shotness. And here you go. This suit was checked to make sure you don't have to worry. This is not a $5,000, not even $500 suit. Okay, but basically, one of the 613 commandments is don't mix wool and linen. Now, obviously, that's such a good deed. Okay, let's make it more real. Passover, 15th night of Nisan. God says, here you go, guys. I'm going to give you some brick and mortar. Put it in the oven, bake it, and now eat it. It's called matzah. Oh, sorry, flour and water. Bad joke. Okay, right? You're going to eat this dry bread cracker stuff on the 15th. It's going to be a huge mitzvah. Is that a good deed? We see that just the good deed definition does not work. Okay, so we're going to see that there's many mitzvot that are way beyond good deeds. It's not even applicable. Okay, so the question is a mitzvah just another burden, a chore? What is a mitzvah? Okay, you ready? Dun, da, da, dum. Okay. You see tonight, everything comes down to Hebrew language over here. A mitzvah comes from the Hebrew word tzav. Tzav means to connect. It means to command, but it means to connect. So you know what a mitzvah is? It's literally a connector. It allows us to connect to Hashem. That totally changes how I view doing anything in Judaism. Before, oh yes, there's this Torah and there's this God. And you know what? He says, there's all these things I want you to do, and it's dark and it's heavy and it's intense. And obviously we take the Torah seriously. But you know what a mitzvah really is? It's like a loving interaction. It's literally like taking a walk with your loved one. That's what a mitzvah is. Now, is it many times mitzvot are very demanding? You know, getting up early in the morning to go pray. You fill in the blank. But the point is, how do we approach it conceptually? The question is it a burden? Is it something, a yoke I need to bear, or is it something that says, hey, you know what? Wow, this is an amazing opportunity. Okay, and that's really what a mitzvah is. A mitzvah is a connector. Now we're going to see the different. Okay, too quickly. We're good. Go ahead. Want to keep going over here? Now, mitzvahs are the ultimate relationship connectors. There are three, and I want everyone to hopefully burn this into your hard drive. There are three and only three types of relationships that you can have. Every type of relationship you will ever have in your life will fit into one of these three categories. Okay? And guess what? There are three types of mitzvahs that fit into these three categories. First one is called Bein Adam Lamakom, between a person and Hashem. These are all the mitzvot that we call religion. You pray, you put on tefillin, tzitzis, belief in God. Okay? These are basically creating a connection between me and the Almighty up above. Then there are other type of mitzvot that are ben adam le chavero. Chaver is a friend. It's the mitzvahs between us and other people. Okay, guess what? Love your neighbor as yourself. That sounds like a nice one. Tzedakah, giving charity. And we already talked earlier, no gossip, okay? Those are all Torah mitzvot. Those are all commandments in the Torah. It says, thou shalt, right? And the focus of it is on building a relationship between me and another person. Okay? Now you think that we're done, right? What else is there? Between me and God, between me and another person, but guess what? There's one final dimension. Bein Adam la'atzmo. The whole world now is crazy for meditation and mindfulness. And that's why, in fact, Life Seminar, we decided to inculcate a whole lectures. We're going to have, God willing, guided meditation and focus on this aspect. Why? But we've always had this. Torah's always had this because we recognize that we have to have a healthy relationship with ourselves. Who are we? What messaging am I giving myself? Okay? Okay, and there's a lot of expressions. The one I give here, walking God's ways. By the way, when we're kind to another person, that's literally a mitzvah. Because we're walking in God's ways. Just as God is kind, so too we are kind. Okay, keeping kosher, by the way. There are many commentators that say that keeping kosher is a law for our own relationship with ourselves. Why? Self-control. Okay? Because I can't eat everything I want. I can't do whatever I want whenever I want to do it. Why? So that inculcates a sense of self-control. I'm not an animal. By the way, why do we say blessings before we eat? By the way, it's very funny. Whenever at a restaurant, look over when the food arrives, okay, at the table next to you, and just see the people. They're almost like Olympic swimmers diving into the. Okay, now I'm guilty of that also, but I do something like 2 seconds. No. At least I say some type of blessing that will recognize that I'm not just an animal when the food is put in front of me. That I can elevate the fact that I'm not a slave to my physical drives. That is a concept of discipline and my relationship with myself. I'm not out of control. I am in control of my passions and my desires. Okay? Here we go. So we got the mitzvahs, creating relationships. Coming up some fun stuff now. Okay. Yes, please.
Out of those three, which one is the most important?
It would be literally like that tripod over there. See the tripod on the camera? Say which leg is most important. If you took one away, the camera would fall.
All three are the most
Yes. Okay? I'll give you a little hint. How many patriarchs did we have? 3. Abraham was known for kindness. Isaac was known for his dedication to God, was willing to give up his life. Yaakov was known as the person who excelled in Torah, in total self-control. Not a mistake. Each one of these areas one of our patriarchs. Okay, it's a whole nother class. Just want to show you. Here we go. All right, what's a Jew? Dun, da, 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 da. So this is you guys are getting good value over here. You're getting what Judaism is, what Torah is, what a mitzvah is. We're going to even get what is a Jew. Okay, what is a Jew? Good question. Let's see some bad rabbi humor over here. I don't know if this is rabbi or dad humor. Okay, what is a Jew? Someone eats bagels and lox? Unfortunately, after Seinfeld, that is no longer only Jewish. He made bagels and lox totally for everyone. Someone who has also a strong opinion. That is true, but there are other people in the world who do have strong opinions, but we don't have the lock on that either. Someone who dutifully goes to services twice a year, but not much else. Okay, I'll leave that one. Okay, someone who works in Hollywood business or politics. Yeah, but other people do also. Someone who is a doctor. Wonderful. My son, before I became a rabbi, my mother, my grandmother, they were so proud of me. I was going to be a doctor. Went to a good college. I worked hard. When I dropped out of pre-med, oy vavoy, what are you going to do? And then I had the chutzpah to want to be a rabbi. Oy, what type of job is that for a nice Jewish boy? Okay, so let's see. What is a Jew? Okay, I don't want to go through the whole thing. But if you want to know what a Jew is, and the Jewish people, we're going to have another quote. Look at what non-Jews say about us. Okay, not like the bloggers who are like anti-Semitic, but if you look at like intellectuals in the world, okay? Everyone remember reading the Cliff Notes of his books? Spark Notes? I don't know. No one reads books anymore. Okay, anyway, it's famous Russian author, right? Okay, he was not Jewish. Okay. So he says some really cool stuff. He's just like one of a bunch of people. Okay, I just chose him tonight. The Jew is that sacred being who was brought down from the heavens, the everlasting fire, and has illuminated with it the entire world. He is the religious source, spring, and fountain out of which all the rest of the peoples have drawn their beliefs and their religions. By the way, I didn't even think about this, but remember what Rabbi Marcus was saying? The pipeline, the funnel. That's what the Jewish people are. He's saying, it's exactly what he's saying. Okay? The Jew is the emblem of eternity. Okay? Nothing can wipe us out. We were just in Spain and Portugal. Okay? Went through that Inquisition. Okay? The Jew is as everlasting as eternity itself. Okay? So we're going to get to why. Okay, but now let's get to more of a definition. That's just a pep talk. Because people are like, why is it important to be Jewish? Well, let's see what the non-Jews say. That's one.
chosen people.
Chosen people. Here we go. All right, here we go. Back to Hebrew. No, Rabbi, too much Hebrew. Jew comes to the word Judah. Okay, there was a guy in the Torah named Judah. He was the son of Jacob. He was one of 12 sons of Jacob. Okay, fourth son out of 12. Judah is Yehudi in Hebrew. Wow, look at this, all in red. Who thought? Okay, I did. Okay, anyway, Yehudi is from the word Yehuda. Okay, and now the question is, what does Yehudi mean? Yehudi comes from means two things: to admit and to thank. Now, here's the toughest question I'm going to ask you tonight. What is the connection between to admit and to thank? Should we do some Jeopardy music? Do, 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 do. I can never think. It just puts too much pressure because I know that it's going to end in dom, dom, dom. Okay. To admit and to thank. Same word. They come from the same Hebrew root, which means fundamentally they're the same word. What is the connection between admitting and thanking? Follow your brains. This is not deep Kabbalistic thoughts.
Both are a sign of being like humble, like humility.
Right? In order to, yeah. So which one leads to which? Where does the humility come in? You're right on it.
Probably admitting comes first.
Right. Because if you don't admit or recognize that someone does something nice for you, guess what? You're never going to thank them. Do you know we all have people in our lives who whenever you do something nice for them, they don't say thank you. Why? Because they feel that it's coming to them. In Hebrew, you know, in Israel, they have an expression, it's very good. It says, Magia li. It is coming to me, you know, because I deserve it.
Sense of entitlement.
What?
Sense of entitlement.
Sense of entitlement. If you hang out with entitled people, they will rarely thank you. And if they do, it's very cursory. Why? Because they cannot admit that you did something nice for them. And that's where the humility comes in. Yeah, it's very good because you have to be humble fundamentally to be able to admit that someone else did something nice for you. Okay, to admit, and then you thank someone. All right? So now, what is a Jew? What is a Jew? Again, we're all, many different types of Jews. I'm saying, but fundamentally, what is a Jew in this world?
Someone who's able to admit that there's a God in the world.
Yes, exactly. We live a life recognizing that it's not just about me. And there's something greater in the world, and to live a life that's grateful, of gratitude. That's what a Jew is. That's exactly what a Jew is. Okay? Chosen people, people of the book. Okay, those are all nice descriptions, but fundamentally, we're here to say there's something greater in the world than just me. And to live a life of gratitude. Okay? How are we doing time-wise? Oh, okay. So I'm not going to tell the story. I'll tell you the story maybe afterwards. Okay? There we go. Oh, favorite quote. Who are the Jewish people? Who's this guy? Graney? Mark Twain. Okay, 1898. One of the greatest pieces about the Jewish people. It's unbelievable. Okay? I'll have to send this out to you. It's worth the entire... You have to read the whole thing. But basically, the Jews are 1% of the human race. We're less than that, by the way. We're less than 1/4%. Okay? 7 billion people in the world. 10% is 700 million. 1% is 35 million. 0.5% is 17.5 million. Did I do that right? 7 billion. 700 million is 10%. 1% is 70 million. 0.5% is 35 million. And 1/4% is 17.5 million. Okay? We are 0.2%. There's about 12 million Jews. We're not even 1/4%. Okay? The Jew ought hardly to be heard of, but he is heard of and has always been heard of. He writes this in 1898. Okay? The Egyptian, Babylonian, Persian rose, filled the planets, bound in splendor. The Jews saw them all, beat them all, and is now what he always was, exhibiting no decadence, no infirmities of age, no weakening of his parts, no slowing of his energies, no dulling of his alert and aggressive mind. All things are mortal but the Jew. All other forces pass, but he remains. And here's the conclusion. What is the secret of his immortality? Okay? For us, that's an easy answer. We're connected to immortality. We're the people of Hashem, who is immortal and eternal. Okay? Okay, here we go. In summary, here we go. Hashem, CEO of the universe, wants a relationship with us. That is great news. That is fantastic. That means you wake up in the morning, your life has meaning and purpose. Why? Because the CEO of the universe loves you and he wants a connection with you. Okay? How do we know how to do that relationship? He gives us a little guidebook called the Torah. In the Torah, there's a little thing called mitzvahs that are connectors. Yay, we're connecting. Cool. And then what is a Jew? Someone who admits and recognizes what Hashem does for us, lives a life of thanks and gratitude. That's why Jews always say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we go. Takeaway, honor and privilege to be part of the Jewish people, a little inspiration, and this is what we do. Project routine, here we go. Facilitates and encourages your knowledge of Torah so you can make informed decisions about your Jewish future. You have the definitions now. Take the ball and run with it. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Done.